love me. XOXO.
So a couple of things. I did in fact make a mistake in deciding that I was going to do this eyeshadow palette collection, but also I didn't make a mistake because I created this eye look because of the eyeshadow palette collection. Hold. Today I got into the Blend Bunny Blends palette and I used the Sugar Drizzle MILF palette, and when I tell you, like, the highlighter is also from in here. I believe Croaky is my highlighter. I think that I have Pond on my eye. Like, there's a whole lot. Listen, I'm killing the game. So anyways, we're gonna try to continue this party. We're gonna try. I'm gonna make an attempt. I'm gonna try to complete this. We will see how it goes. Bo. See, this is why. Watch your feet now, baby. Stay back on your side. All right, so for this one, I'm gonna get the entire bottom drawer because I need to be finished. Number one. Number one, I need to be finished. And I'm gonna actually, I thought I was gonna like finish all of them. I don't think I'm gonna, we're gonna see. So let me just get started. This is the Nomad Fête de Provence palette, which I did, again, I received this in PR. I have yet to do this one, so that might be makeup playtime. I will pull this out. Y'all remind me that this is the palette I need to play with because I haven't played with it. Again, like, I feel like, oh, these are the Nomad Shimmers, babes. These are the Nomad Shimmers, though. These are the shimmers that I have Fleur de Mimosa, I have Savon de Marcel, and I believe, what is this over here? Boucher de Rhône. I don't know if my pronunciations are good. They're probably terrible. Someone's gonna tell me. Thank you. This is it. You know, of course I didn't do them in order because why would I do that? Why would I make things make sense? But these, I feel like there was some reason behind why I hadn't tried this yet, and I think it was called work. But I'm looking forward to playing with this. Nomad, don't kick me off the list, I promise. I'm trying now. Y'all, the Give Me Glow Vivid Rose. Now, this is a palette I did not think, I didn't know I was gonna like it as much as I do. I will say that I think that there are too many of these shades. Like, these two don't both need to be here, and these two don't need to both be here. And what I'm talking about is Pink Rosé, Talk Dirty to Me, He Loves Me, and Spill the Tea Rose. Like, I think you could have one of these and one of these, and it would have been fine. Because you could remove one, and then that's gonna be 2, 4, 6, 8, and it would have been 8 shades, and that would have been fine. I actually think that that would have made the whole thing better. I will also say, though, that this is another palette that, while beautiful, while gorgeous, while fun, easy to play with, and I'm gonna say that these shimmers are a these powders are a bit, it's pigment. That's what I'm gonna say. It's fucking pigment. So it's gonna be pigmented as hell, and I would not recommend, I do not do a lot of blending with these. I tend to like push, you know, put them into the skin and then like live my life. Because I find that when they blend, they start looking, just in general, like a little bit chalky, or you can very easily blend it away. So I put this down, I put it down, and then I put other shades down on top of it, bop, bop, bop. I will also say that you do not have a lot of variety in the looks that you are going to create. Unless you are just one of them artistes that's like, let me get all the glitter glue, let me get all of the primers and wha-cha, wha-cha, wha-cha. But you're not gonna have a lot of variety. However, it is beautiful, and this is a nice palette. Like, if you wanna take it on a trip with you, people are going on trips, you know, take that.
Only decomified brain is a complete mystery to science, like dark matter or why squirrels get so enraged when they see me naked.
All right, so now this is from the now defunct Midas Cosmetics with Drench Cosmetics. This is the Genesis palette. This is actually I feel like, one of their collaborations that they did correct. I feel like they did the Hannah Smoky Glow one correct. I feel like this one was also correct, because both of those palettes, to me, with collaborations, both of these seem to really embody the other person. And I feel like the brand to brand connection made sense. And then like with Hannah made sense. But I also think that the color story, for the most part, makes sense. It's pretty. It has the like the drench sensation where they're more kind of grungy, a little space agey, and the a little touch of Midas in there. I will say, the standard I never really played with as much as I should have, and I really should have played with this more because look how pretty that is. And then again, I feel like I like the silver, but I still too powdery. Ambitious is a silver, bit too powdery. And I will also say that there are a few too many brown tan shades in here, but I do like this one. I feel like this was a good direction that they were moving in, and then I just from that point couldn't figure out like what were they doing? Were you collaborating with brands? Were you collaborating with people from Instagram? Were you collaborating with people from YouTube? And that's what I meant about them trying to pick an audience and kind of stick with that audience. It just makes more sense because it's hard if you like what I was trying to say with the Hannah, which I don't think I ever really got around to that, the Hannah Smoky Glow, was that they had this collaboration with her, huge YouTube audience, and then they started doing these different collabs, including this one, where everybody who isn't into indie makeup, like all of us indie makeup folks, know who Drench is, right? But the people who just watch big beauty content creators, the people who watch Tati and the people who watch Manny MUA, those who never get down here to the black market beauty community, they have no idea and so they don't buy it. So the marketing doesn't work out. So that's what I was talking about when it comes to the marketing. You just kind of have to pick your audience and for the most part stick with them because it's difficult if you don't. So the next thing, y'all, listen, I punked myself and I stupidly got the Getting Fresh palette, this big ass palette, from ColourPop, because you know what? I let myself believe. Here's the thing. The shimmers are gonna make it. They're gonna be amazing. I've played with them. They're beautiful. They're actually quite lovely. You know what's not lovely? Every fucking last one of these matte shades looks like trash on my skin, okay? I'm gonna keep this one because I do really like how pretty the shimmers are on my skin. Like, I like how pretty the shimmers are. But like, baby, the mattes, it's trash. None of these mattes show up. I even went in here with like the deepest nothing. I may as well have just like not even have existed. There's so many shades here that are similar, and I think that what happened is I did in fact get caught up in these pretty ass shimmers. That's really what happened. I was like, oh, these are shimmers, and ColourPop can do that well, but you know, we'll see how long this stays in my collection because I have a lot of shimmers that do better. But listen, I was living. It was a good time. Let me live my life, okay? Next up, I have this Alter Ego Goddess palette. I've had this for so long. I never use it. And again, the number one reason I don't use it is because every shade has like green in it. And I know you're like, yeah, it's like an earthy goddess. Yes. I hear you. But what I'm saying is, it feels like you can only make just green. Like, it's just green. I'm gonna fuss with it one more time, but I feel like it's just like, it's too green. Like, the gold is green. Cassandra is green. Venus is green. Like, I just feel like you can't even, if you're a neutral babe, you can't even really just make a neutral look. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you can't even just be like, oh, I'm gonna go neutral. You can't. Because all the fucking shimmers are green. Every fucking shimmer is green. It's just green. And it doesn't matter that it's not green, if that makes sense. Like, Freya is gonna have a green undertone in it. Do you see what I'm saying? There's always gonna be some green. It's a situation. It's gonna be green. It's annoying. Who's back there looking at us, causing problems in the camera? Anyways, I just feel like every one of the shimmers is green, because they are, and it just does something to my spirit. So that'll be one that I kind of put to the side. I do believe M of Imperfectly M gave that to me, and I really need to just make some decisions about that. Now this, I think I'm gonna have to finally, I can't do it, never mind. This is the Dose of Colors Blushing Berries, and I believe I received this in, I don't know if it was BoxyCharm or Ipsy. I can't remember which one, but they're the same now, and I'll be getting it. Y'all, this is gonna be so exciting. Listen, it's gonna be a good time. Anyways, I'm gonna do a comparison box from this month's box and the new Ipsy Charm, the Ipsy Charm. the new one, and I'll show you if they're like, if it's worth it to have, you know. Anyways, but this, I still really like it. I love this color story. This is how this is really one of the ways too that I discovered that like mauves, berries, pinks, like that's my neutral. That's where I live, and like that's what I like as a neutral look for me, pour moi. And I love this palette. And until the powders don't powder, maybe I'm gonna keep using it. All right, next up I have this Caliente palette from Glamlight. I feel like I also got this in a beauty box. I hardly ever touch this, but I feel like I'm just gonna try to touch it uno más tiempo before I let it go. And whatever, when I say let it go, whatever you want to believe I'm doing with the palette, that's what I did. You're welcome. So I just feel like this color story is confusing, honestly. Like it's like Caliente as in hot, you know, but like it's not hot. It's not fiery. I don't see any fire. You see what I'm saying? Like, why would you say Caliente, but it's not fiery? Weird times. Weird. It's just weird. Anyway, that's my opinion. I'm gonna get rid of this. I don't know why I have it. It's a Touch and Soul, like, odd little palette. It's a Philip Orange palette. It's way too neutral. It has a pressed glitter in it. And I actually already have this pressed glitter from Odin's Eye. So like, why do I need another one? I don't, you know what I mean? Let's let that go. I don't need it. So I forgot about this one. I did have one more of the Futurism, the Kaleidos Futurism things. And I keep this, I think sometimes I try to keep it for this like red orangey shade, but I'm not sure if I still like that. I don't know if it goes the levels that I want it to go to. Let me see. I think I have to pack it on to get it to, yeah, this is a packer oner. I'm going to show you, hold on. I'm doing the pack on motions. Well, you can see me doing it. I didn't realize I had a good camera angle today, bitch. Okay, so that's the pack on, and then this is like when you blend. So you can kind of see it there. I feel like the pack, which is going to be on this side, that side, and then the blend is on this side. I feel like the pack on just always looks like, it doesn't look as good, but the color shows up more. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to pull out like these. I'm gonna have to make some decisions about these Kaleidos ones. Because first of all, Kaleidos don't even give a shit about me, and it's fine. Y'all, look what I found. This was the palette that brought me into color, because M and of many other people within the indie makeup community talked about the Colored Rain Vivid Pressed Pigments and Shadows. I don't remember which formula of these I have. I'm sure M will come in there in the comments and let us know. But listen, this was my everything, and I feel like I need to fuss with it just to make sure that it hasn't gone off. Because if it hasn't gone off, oh God, the yellow is so buttery in here. If it hasn't gone off, then I may as well play with it a bit more. I will say though that the Blend Bunny Blends palette replaced my need for this. So if it has gone off, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But here's like 3 shades right there. Here's the thing. I'm probably never going to get rid of this palette. This would be one of those palettes that I have, not to use, but to remind myself, like, this is how I got into the makeups. And this is how I got into the color. So, I wouldn't have this, like, look on today if it weren't for this palette. Do you know what I mean? If I'd never picked up the Colored Rain Vivid Pigments and Shadows, like, I wouldn't be doing color today like I am. So, boom, biggity bam. This is the Black Magic Carnival by Oma Beauty, and I like this palette. I always kind of waffled in between, and I think a lot of times it was because I was trying to do either like a declutter or whatever, which is why I don't do declutters, because again, I'm not going to declutter for anybody's entertainment. And I do feel like for me personally, it's not everybody, I just feel like for me personally, when I am doing an on-camera declutter, what ends up happening way too often, and I feel like a lot of creators may feel the same pressure, is that you feel like you have to throw away a bunch of stuff in order for the viewer to be satisfied, and even if that's to your own detriment. And so I just don't do that anymore. So I feel like I was kind of afraid to throw, because I hadn't gotten to play with this enough, and that's my reality, right? The reality is, a lot of times when you're doing beauty content, you don't get to play with a lot of your palettes and your makeup as much as you'd like to. And because of that, I think you sometimes might form an opinion about something based on the one time that you were able to even use the palette, and not on the varying other times that you could actually just, when you weren't trying to film, when you weren't trying to like do a review of the product. So I do like this palette, and I do want to play with it because I do think that the shimmers are actually really pretty, and I just never really got to play with it the way that I wanted to. You know what I mean? That is Mardi Gras. Let me show you Bahia. So soft and so pretty. Bahia Trinidad. Like, oop, I got a little red in it, but it'll be fine. Those are the 3 shades. So I'm gonna go wash my hands. We shall return with even more makeup palettes.
I'll see you now!
All right, so let me bring this one along, because this, along with the Queen of Hearts, this is the Jackie Aina ABH collab. Again, this is another palette I'm never gonna get rid of. First of all, I absolutely love the packaging. It's so pretty. It does have like a weird texture that sometimes I don't like. It sometimes makes me feel a little sick to my stomach. But most of the time, see, sometimes if I hit it, I think it's because I just washed my hands, that's all. But I do like the palette. Let me just get into it. A lot of times I just folded it because, let me be very honest, I don't think I like the texture. It's really pretty. I love the packaging in how it looks, but not how it feels. There we go. So this be her, living her best life. I do remember some controversy surrounding this, where some white creators had the nerve to actually say something about how this color story was too deep for them, and like, maybe it wasn't for you. So anyways, that's why I like very easily say to myself, like, yeah, these like, that's what Odin's Eye. I'm like, they didn't make that for me. I don't care anymore. Like, it's fine. It is what it is. They can make their money. They're gonna make their money. They have a large white audience. They'll make money. This was for us brown girls, and I live for it. I was happy that somebody actually made a collection, because listen, a lot of brown people don't do that. A lot of brown people will do a collab with a brand and will cave and make just basically a palette collection that literally they can't even wear, but there they are. So I love this because Jackie not only created a color story that worked out for us, but it's timeless, it's beautiful. I feel like it has the shades in it that I love, and Wiggley's is gonna forever. Oh, I love these kinds of shades, baby. Please. Don't talk to me if you're not doing this. You know what I mean? Like, god dang, I just love this. It just makes me feel fancy. This is a palette I'm never gonna throw out, because again, along with the Queen of Hearts, that was the first 1-2 punch of palettes that I bought for the first time. What is that there? Let me just move whatever this is. Maybe that'll fix the situation. But this is one of the first palettes that I bought for the first time, like with my own money, that didn't come in a beauty box. So live for that. You know what? I have this Natasha Denona Sunset palette. Emily, M of Imperfectly M, gave this to me. I feel like I've mostly moved on from this color story. Like, I have it and I like it better from other brands. I feel like everything in here is chalky and I don't like it. I don't like the chalkiness. Like, that's what I don't like about it. It just feels like chalk. So I'm gonna let that one go. I feel like, yeah, it just feels like all the shadows feel very rough to me. I know they're like, Natasha has her stands or whatever, and y'all can stand her all you want to, but these formulas to me, it's just like, I don't want to feel like it's chalky and then blend it out to beautifulness, because that's a lot of work for me personally. You can do what you want with your life. You know what I mean? I'm not the boss of you. All right, so next up, this was given to me. Ooh, you know what? I have not played with this enough. This is from a brand that no longer exists. It was called Blush Tribe. And I can't really read Munaza. I can't really read that script because it's fucking terrible. But, you know, I didn't play with that. It's pretty. See? I forgot I had this. What is this? Ooh, fun. Bitch. Okay. Listen. I'm gonna play with it and see if it's worth my while. That is, again, another makeup playtime. Nomad Cosmetics. Ooh, this one is discontinued because it was called the... I'm just gonna show it to you. So this one didn't make it, which is unfortunate, actually, the naming of it, because some of the shades in here, some of the shimmers were really, really nice. Honestly, Venice was just absolutely beautiful. Let me show you. This is the kind of shade that I feel like it's this egg. Let me just move the egg there. This is the kind of shade that you just want to like live your whole life for. And I felt like, there we go. Yes. I liked it a lot because it's kind of that like golden brown shade, like, so goldy green brown, but I like it because it looks so wet. Yeah, this was a really nice palette, to be honest. There are some very beautiful shades in here, gorgeous looks to be created. I liked the Roaring 20 shade because it was like a really true red, and a true red is hard to find. Look at this, like, especially for deep skin. So yeah, I mean, I'm keeping it. I know people can have their feelings. I'm still keeping the palette because I already have it and money wasn't spent. It was given to me in PR, but it doesn't do me any good to throw it away if I actually like it. And I'm not going to do that. Next up, y'all, I have this weird palette and I'm keeping it because, listen, I played with it one time and I was like, this palette's kind of lit. This is Lorac Pro, and not to be confused with Lorac, like Carol. This is Coral. This is Coral. But I got this and I feel like a BoxyCharm or some shit. No, I think I may have gotten in a therapy, try beauty box, maybe something like that. Listen, this is tits. I love this palette. I'm sorry, I don't care. I do not care. This shade Peanut Brittle does like way more than you would think that it's supposed to. It's really soft too. It's this like soft, pretty shade right here. And I can't tell. Sorry, I can't really tell sometimes if this is focusing, but soft, pretty shade right there. Just stunningly beautiful. I liked it a lot. Like, and here's the thing, I really like the berry mattes because we now know I love a berry. So there's like beautiful berry mattes in here, and my makeup skills have gotten to a point where like this kind of shit is gonna look good now. Good. So yeah, I like this. It's called the Chocolate Box. So if you can ever find this palette again, highly recommend it. Such a good time. There's so much good shit in it, you know? I've already got to wash my hands again. I'm going to do that. We'll be back.
If your brain were a drug, I'd snort the shit out of it.
All right. So next up, I have not played with this enough, and I really should have. This is Euphoric Dreams from Belle Beauté. Listen, I hate when they have the little psh, because I'm a stupid American, you know what I mean? And like languages are just so psh. Can I speak some of them? Maybe, but can I read them? Absolutely the fuck not. So anyways, this was the Euphoric Dreams. I salivated over this and then I got it and I like it a lot. It's a beautiful purple palette. I love me a purple palette. I'm wearing purple today. The shimmers are gorgeous. I will say that the top, like the mattes, I feel like they should have done a deeper with the mattes, but you know, dreams. So dreams, even if you're again. Okay, anyways, this is the OG Sugar Drizzle palette. This is gorgeous. This is just gorgeous. The shimmers in here, I need to pull this out because still haven't played with Sugar Spawn, and I'm again really beginning to like these types of shades because I just love how, listen, I'm getting stained. I'm getting stained, but I love how these types of shades just look super wet on the skin. And yeah, this is a nice formula. This is what made me fall in love with Sugar Drizzle. So I'm for that. All right. I believe Lacey gave me this. This is the Profusion Sapphires. I am not going to keep this. And it's really just because I have other palettes that are like this, but better. Yeah. Yeah, I have other palettes that are like this, but better. So again, whatever you think I did with that, that's what I did. All right. Jesus Christ. Well then, this was a huge disappointment, this palette, but I'm going to try to play with it again. This was the, like, Ghostface palette with that brand, Baby Bat Beauty, I think. And it was like their pink Ghostface palette. And I was like, okay. I do believe it has a... I'm trying to show it to you, but it has a pressed glitter that's like, it's kind of dry. I already had a shade just like fall out, so please don't pay attention to that. I had to stick it back in. It was Mooring Me. Mooring Me? That doesn't make sense. I'm so confused. Okay. So I feel like the black shade Scream is obviously going to be gorgeous, but I feel like this was disappointing to me. And now I just don't know why it was disappointing. And I feel like, again, like now that I'm playing with it, I feel like my disappointment is unwarranted. You know what I mean? I feel like my disappointment just came out of me quickly trying to create content and not really play with the palette properly. So, you know, I might be able to buy from this brand again in 2 years. Well, just kidding. I'm saying 2 years because like I have so much shit, obviously. But I might buy from this brand again because I like that. Now I'm embarrassed. Hex Baby Beauty. Which I think is now Baby Bat Beauty. Is that the same thing? Somebody let me know in the comments. You know what? What is that? Editing me? Try to tell us what's going on. Thank you. So this is the Violet Voss Care Bears collab. Listen, I'm keeping this out of nostalgia because it's just okay. You know what I mean? It's not anything like super great or anything, but I'm keeping it because it's cute. And that's fine. That's fine for me. Like, you don't have to be the person who keeps it, but like, you know, being like, eh, it's not great. I'm not keeping it because it's the greatest palette ever. I'm keeping it because I fucking love the Care Bears. And sometimes that's what we do in our lives, you know? These are like some of the shimmers. They're all right. You know what I mean? You're just living like a medium-ish life. Nothing to write home about. It's cute, but I'm not keeping it for that. I'm keeping it for this, you know? I'm keeping it for Tenderheart, sitting here on the outside, looking happy as shit. Grumpy Bear's there. Somebody send me, you know, I'm fine. I'm fine. That's why I have it. I fucking love them. All right, so this is the Nomad Lago de Como. This is Lake Como. I really, really like this palette in particular. I feel like this had a lot of blues and greens, and it was really pretty. Again, had like one of those wet shimmers in Disco Volante. So like this, gosh, this was a really nice one actually. I really liked this because once, it's a little much, oof. But I'm like, I got a little crazy with it. No, that one's not the wet one that I thought it was, but it is very like gold. I love gold. All right, anyways. But I really mostly like the navy shade in here, which was Mozzafiato. I like that a lot. Because it's very, very navy. And I was like, Mitch, I know. So I was very happy about that. And I liked Bella Figura. So yeah, I feel like this was a nice little palette. And I do wish that they had like maybe one shade just like a little lighter that wasn't shimmery at all to help pull everything together. But otherwise, good times. I like this one. This was like one that I really liked from them. Let's see. I'm like over here making messes of my life because of course I am. Now y'all, speaking of Nomad, again, PR, this is one of their all-time top palettes. First of all, let's talk about the outside packaging. Yes, this is their Haunted Europe palette, and I really like this one. This might be like this one and the Berlin, hand in hand, neck and neck. These two are my favorite palettes. I just feel like this one in particular, I felt like we went back into their old school like feel and formula, and I was like for that, and I still am, and I want to live my life in this. I need to pull this out. This will be like again, I'm so happy I have this again. Big ups to Nomad for continuing to send me PR this year. May not be there next year, but that is okay. So then, because other people should have an opportunity to be on the PR list and experience the joy that is Nomad. That's what I'm trying to say. So anyway, BH Cosmetics, which still exists, I guess, underneath the Makeup Revolution banner. This is their 80. Wait, isn't Makeup Revolution trying to go out of business? That hurts my brain. This is the 80s remix, their dance remix. So listen, I bought this to be funny. Well, not to be funny, like haha, but me and Em were doing a stream with our patrons, and this is part of that buying the cheapest makeup on, I think it was Ulta, and this was super cheap. I think it was like $8 or something, but it's nice. It actually ended up being fun, and I had a nice time with it. Like the shades, did well. They weren't like budging around, so it's a good time. I like this a lot. It's a cute little color story, and like it really does evoke the 80s. I gotta wash my hands uno más tiempo, and despite my best efforts to try to finish this in this video, I have one more video coming for y'all on this eyeshadow palette collection. Listen, that's what's gonna be. I'm trying to find everything. If I don't find everything, it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? We went deep. We went deep. Okay, hand washing. Be right back.
Goodbye, friends. I never thought I would die like this, but I'd always really hoped.
These are the last 6 palettes I'm going to share with you. And this one, I'm really trying. I'm so sorry, but like it is what it is, right? Right. Okay, so first up we have this one from Nomad, which is the Paradise Islands. And I think I only got to play with this just a smidgen. Again, working the way that I worked made it very difficult for me to get to play with the things that I wanted to play with. So I feel excited that I'm going to have more opportunities to just like bust everything out and play with it. I feel like I was able to play with this in order to create a reel, which was nice, but I did not get to like actually like put it on. And I would love to see what these greens and blues do. Yeah. Bird of Paradise. My dear friend Jen of Jen Love sent this to me, and I don't know. I feel like the artwork is very beautiful. It's from Mark Wiley Cosmetics. I don't know. I just felt like the brand needed some work. I don't know if the brand still exists to this day, but I don't think I'm going to keep this in my collection even though it was a gift, because it just doesn't speak to me, and the shades just do not do what I want them to do. I feel like they're just not giving what I want them to give. I feel like I have to kind of work in there on some of them. Yeah, that's it. They're just like a lot of it's patchy, so I just think I'm going to not keep that. Because if I run across it again, I know that I'm not actually going to want to put it on my eyes. Next up, listen, the Morphe Sour Patch Kids. I am actually going to play with this again. First of all, I like the packaging. It's super cute. I know. Morphe, you, Audra, let me live my life. I'm going to actually play with this again because I feel like maybe I had a particular bias. So I'm going to play with it again and see if maybe I was incorrect. Right. Next up, you have the Nomad Hudson Valley. I did receive this in PR as well. This is, again, I really like this. I will say that I almost wish that these two weren't here, and I get it. Like, you're like, well, Hudson Valley leaves. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good with it to be red leaves. You know what I mean? We don't have to have the green. See what I mean? If you take that out, fucking stunning palette. Am I wrong? No, I'm not wrong. So anyways, I feel like that's the thing. This would have made a beautiful 9 pan, and the other shades over there just didn't need to exist at all. And I feel like this is one of those palettes that I did like a gorgeous reel with and never got to play with. Listen, don't come for me. The Milan Row Poison Ivy palette. This was a collaboration with Doodles by the Bunny. So cute. This was like just such a nice green fun palette. If you didn't get to get your hands on it, I'm sorry, because it's really cute. I like the shimmer formula. I do not love that there is a pressed glitter in it. And again, I don't have an actual problem with pressed glitters. I just don't want it in my eyeshadow palette. I want a separate palette for that. That's all. That's literally it. I don't have a problem with them. I just don't want it in the eyeshadow palette. I feel like it takes up a space that it doesn't need to. But I really like this palette. It was really pretty. They're very easy to work with. I didn't have any difficulties putting a look together. This is super cute. Dug it. Dug it. And finally, let's see. I might try to finish the rest. Hold on. I'm gonna get through as many as I can. I'm gonna push through and try to do more. Hold on. So this is the Colored Rain Power Palette. I love this. I just love this. The outside is like not really a lot. I don't care for that. It doesn't even matter. But the inside, baby, you can't say shit to me. Like another purple palette, I'm gonna live. I'm gonna live my best life in a purple palette. You can just deal with that. The shimmers are gorgeous. This was like still back in Colored Rain's heyday where they were really just like giving the girls something to talk about. Now they're not really doing that, but it, you know, that's not my business. I don't work there. Next up. Yeah, listen, I'm coming in hot. I'm trying to get as many more as I can get done. I have this Perfusion palette. I bought this. It's the UFO palette. I don't know. I don't know about this. I actually don't know. Like, I feel like it's a little dry, but I might want to give it another chance. You know what I mean? I think I bought it and was just like, eh. I feel like it was very much like a situation where I was like, eh. But you know what? We'll play with it again. We'll play again. We'll see. That's gonna be, you know, another that I bring probably to make up playtime or just like a look, like a video where I'm doing looks so we can just talk about it. This is Miro Beauty. Received this in PR. This is one of those brands where I'm sad that they're going out because they had realized the importance of like people do not mind necessarily a pressed glitter. They just didn't want it in their eyeshadow palettes. And they had started putting them, I have it somewhere, but they had started putting their pressed glitters in a separate palette, like a little 4-square. And I loved that. This was such a pretty palette. It was so fun. You did need to kind of work with it a little bit. I will say that on this one, the story wasn't all the way there. It was really like there were just a couple little pieces here that I felt like didn't exactly fit, but I still really like it. I'm glad that I received that, and I'm sad that they are now no longer here. This is the Menagerie Cosmetics Sugar Glider palette. Or Sugar High, sorry, based off of the Sugar Glider. I don't really understand the color story in relation to a Sugar Glider, and I don't really care to because it's really pretty. But again, Menagerie, I feel like almost every single one of their palettes has to work in conjunction with another palette unless you are super white, but even then I don't think that that is true because I do know people who are super white who still need deepening shades to make these work. I feel like that is something that Menagerie should work on. You know, my opinion. They don't have to take it. They can do whatever they want. They're successful. This is the one palette from Odin's Eye I just live for. It is the Hummingbird palette from the Fancy Face. It is their collab. And this is why I love it. Remember when I was talking about going deep and having shades that are for brown people? That's what I mean. There's deep blues, there's deep browns, there's deep grays, like all of this shiz looks good. And the one light shade, clear blue, I can actually use to blend out. So I just felt like this color story really meant a lot for me and it did very good work. I still like the shimmers. I don't think that they're like out of this world or anything, but I really like the shimmers. I really like the color story and I like that I can use this one and actually get multiple different looks out of it instead of like, I'm gonna make one look, maybe two, and that's as far as I can go because the rest of these shimmers and the rest of these mattes and whatever, they're not in my color wheel. So it is what it is. But that's it. That's the only one I like. Let's get in. We're gonna finish this thing. Well, as much as I can finish it because I'm pretty sure that there are palettes elsewhere. So it just is what it is at this point. Oh God, yes. I love you so much. This is, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, Lethal Cosmetics. This is a different iteration of them doing multichromes. Baby. I received this in PR. Hot diggity. It's so freaking beautiful. I'm gonna come in here with this like pinky shade and obviously like listen, this shade that's like almost black. Oh God, it looks like wet. It looks like oil. It looks like oil, like burnt oil on your skin. Look at this. Look at these. Look at these. Yes. Okay. All right. I love me some Lethal, y'all know. All right, I did receive that in PR. I received this Persephone Ditto palette as well. It is in PR, essentially. Este porque, the reason it's in PR is because I got it from Ipsy, and I received my Ipsy glam bags in PR. And this, there's no reason for me to have that. That is actually going directly into the trash. It's not good. Not at all. Listen, let me show you. Let me show you one thing. If you look at this shade here, like, just to get any pigment out of it. And as soon as I saw that, my memories came flooding back, and I was like, yeah, let's not even. You know what I mean? Like, let's just move away from that. All right. Next up, I have the Giant Wolves palette, the Odin's Eye and Annette Oberstad. I don't really know who Annette is, so that is what it is. But, yeah. I don't think I even use this at all. I did not. There were some shades in here I thought would be nice, but I was really excited to use Tina's. I didn't really understand the color story as much, but maybe I'll play with it. You know what I mean? Maybe. I think because I just didn't really know who Annette was, so it's fine. And I feel like that's the thing. It's like, sometimes like when they send you PR and they send you all of them, and I'm like, that's really nice, but like I don't know who those people are, so I'm not doing them any justice. Sometimes I feel like that. I'm just like, I don't know who the fuck they are. Like, who the fuck are you? No offense. Like, I just don't know who the fuck you are. I don't watch your content if you exist. Like, I have this palette of yours. Like, I guess. Well, but anyways, this is the Almost Cosmetics palette. You know what? I'm not gonna keep this. As pretty as the outside packaging is, this needs so much work. The majority of these shades just really do not give. The shimmers don't give. And I just was like, yeah, I'm not gonna keep something that I have to work that hard to, yeah. Like, there were a couple of the shades that were nice, but overall, it was just kind of like, see, like, because bronzy shades, like this one that's on my wrist, I almost called it my wrist ankle again. My wristicle. Those kinds of shades almost always look good, right? These like kind of bronzy shades, but then you just started getting deeper into it. And my main issue was just like a lot of the mattes didn't really blend well. I don't know why I did it like that, but here we are. So yeah, I just felt like I might just put it to the side and see and try one more time, because I feel like that my issue was. I'm gonna try one more time. Okay. All right. These are all like basically my little palettes. All right. I feel like that's what we're coming up on. So I have the Teresa's Lethal. I like this a lot. Obviously, there's a video on my channel about it. Teresa's a dear close friend. Obviously, I'm going to have a bias there because I love Teresa and I want Teresa to have all the best things in the entire world always and forever. And I liked this one more because it was deeper. It was deeper, babes. And I created so many looks out of this because it was like, I'm gorgeous. I'm magic. So I love that palette. I'm so glad that I have it. This is from Black Moxie Cosmetics. This is Sweet Nightmare. This one was okay, I feel like. I feel like there was some work that could be done. It wasn't fantastic, but I think that some of that feeling, I was incorrect because I just didn't play with it long enough. And that's all. I feel like that's the truth. Yep, because now as I'm playing with it, that's all. I just didn't play with it well enough. I feel like there were some shades, like some of the purples, I think was my issue, was that they did not blend well and you had to tap them out and tap them in to get pigment out of them. But I still like it and I'm glad I have it. Next up, we have Colored Rain in the Safari Rain. Some of y'all mentioned that in the last one. Yeah. I'm sad that this is gone too, because it's gone, never coming back. That is the end. Like, they'll bring it back every so often, but this is honestly such a beautiful earthy palette. If you want to have, like, because you can just take it so many places. I think that's why I like it so much. You can take it so many places. And by take it places, I mean, you can, you know, be very neutral and muted. You can be glam. You can just take it to those places. Metamorphosis from Pink Crush Cosmetics and Krista Rice Makeup. This one I did like more from Pink Crush Cosmetics. I like this one a lot. Really pretty. Love the deep shades. I do believe that this was a gift from Janet as well. And I love this one. This one was killing it. Killing it. Just deep, dark and deep, you know. I love it when I get a palette like that. I'm going to quickly grab a hold of, I'm trying to grab all of them because I know that I told y'all that they were coming and I just wanted to have all of them in hand. And watch me say that and then I'm still gonna miss one. Oh no, we're running out of battery. I'll have to be back next time. So that's it. That's all for this collection. I'll see you in the next video. Ha!